Good morning, Facebook, as I am in traffic. If this is your first time seeing me on here, I usually do these when I'm in the car and I'm safe. As of right now, I'm standing in traffic, and so I'm pretty safe. So I just wanted to use this time to be of hopefully of value to you. And I title this, The Definition of Insanity is Doing the Same Thing Over and Over and Expecting a Different Outcome. I know you guys have heard that saying before, and I bet most of you don't even know where that comes from. Einstein actually quoted that, and he went further into the discussion of, you can't solve a problem with the attitude that created that problem, right? Makes sense. So if you happen to say something to someone and then you regret, you're only regretting it because your attitude has changed, right? And so if your attitude were the same, then you wouldn't regret it, and then you wouldn't apologize. Common sense stuff, right? Everything we're going to talk about today is common sense stuff. And so hear me out. If and I'm just going to use a fishing analogy, even though I am not a fisher, I am a horrible fisher, but let's just use it, right? If you're on a boat and you cast a fishing net over to the left and you catch absolutely no fish, right? And you stay there all day and you continue to wonder, oh my God, there are no fish today, and you don't have the intention of taking that net out of the water and casting it over to the right, then you'll never know what's on the other side. And so why am I telling you all these analogies and these quotes? For one simple reason. If things some way, somehow are not working for you, right? If you've tried the plan, if we've given you a map of how to get to your goal, and for one reason or the other, things are not going your way, it doesn't mean that the plan doesn't work for you. It simply means that you need to change your course. So one of the great things about the plan that we've given you is that there's a million different variations to the plan, right? The suggested plan is 5 meals, or total of 5 meals, 3 meals, 2 shakes, and that's usually what we basically show everyone how to do. That being said, we have people that for whatever reason they can't tolerate more than 3 meals, and so we adjust it, and we adjust maybe 2 shakes 1 meal, or maybe two meals 1 shake. There's some people that can't tolerate shakes, and so they do 3 meals, right? Other people have to do a combination of carb cycling, and others need to do a combination of intermittent fasting with carb cycling. And so my point is that there isn't one way to do things. There's a million different ways. And so I encourage you today, if some way, somehow you're stuck. Stuck means that your weight hasn't moved in several weeks. You continue to do the right thing, to measure your food, to eat every 3 hours and not go more than 4 hours without eating. You're hitting your 3 workouts at the gym. You're doing your 2, ideally 3 cardios, ideally an hour apiece. If you're doing all these things and things are not moving, then something is going on and something needs to change, right? It doesn't mean that the plan doesn't work for you. It just simply means that you need to adjust your course, right? One more analogy. I'm full of analogies today. This is not a relevant analogy now because GPS systems are pretty efficient. But there was a time when pilots would fly their planes, and 95% of the time they were off course. Scary thought. 95% of the time the plane was off course, and all the pilot had to do was adjust their instruments so that they could eventually land on a dime, right? Same concept here. And so there's a lot of adjusting on the way. Some people, and I would say like 80, almost 90% of people, get on this plan and immediately see results and continue to move forward the whole time. And then some of us are just a little different, right? Because we have different eating habits. Maybe we don't eat enough. Maybe we're just used to eating once or twice a day, and so telling someone that eats once or twice a day to eat 5 times a day is a huge task, and I realize that. Some of us are used to eating empty calories, and so when we eat nutrient-dense foods, we feel stuffed, and we maybe we get the sensation of wanting to burp, and you're just like, oh, you're having digestion, and it's not indigestion. It's just that your body's so used to eating empty calories that when you actually eat nutrient-dense foods, your body in the beginning doesn't do very well with it. But it's all an adjustment period, right? And so my point today is this: if for some reason your plan isn't working for you, then we need to adjust it. So reach out to me. If you've reached out in the past and you know, and for whatever reason we haven't figured things out, continue to persist. I can tell you right now that I have people that are doing well, meaning that they're losing 4, 5, 6, 7 pounds every single week, and yet they contact me all the time just to tell me, hey, I'm doing awesome. And I think that's great because that allows me to know where you are. It's a lot easier for you guys to touch base with me and tell me what's going on and me help you troubleshoot that than me calling you, right? Simply because there's too many of you and there's only one of me. And so this is what I do. This is what I love to do. You don't bother me. You can call me. You can pick my brain as much as you want. That's why I asked you to download WhatsApp. You know, if it can't be solved through a simple text or voice text, then I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. But the idea is you want to make sure that you're constantly looking for ways to change course if your plan isn't working. And if that requires you calling me 10 times, then let it be, right? And so wanted to get on here to encourage you, you know, don't lose faith in this program. It works. We know it works. But, you know, it's going to take a little more. Sometimes it takes a little more for some people, and that's okay. As long as you're reaching out, then we can definitely solve those issues, move forward, and I promise you that in 6 weeks you're going to be extremely happy. All right, guys, I hope you got something out of that. I hope to hear from you. I hope that, you know, if in any way, shape, or form I got your attention because things aren't working, that I'll hear from you today. All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye.